But I have to ask you a more like Bravo question, okay?
Yeah.
You came on to a season where we've never had two captains. So
Yeah.
like one fill-in, besides I guess Captain Sean for like one episode, right? We had two captains really at the helm of Motor Yacht St. David. You came in with Captain Sandy, you finished with Captain Lee. It's Captain Lee's final season on the show.
What a privilege as well to be part of that.
Yeah, absolutely. And to work with like two of the most, famous captains on Bravo, right?
Yeah.
If you could work with one of them again, which one would it be?
Without disrespect to the other, I would have to say Captain Sandy. I think, obviously her and I have similarities in like personal life, but she's also very similar to a lot of captains I've worked with personally. On the younger side, at least compared to Captain Lee, very involved with what the crew is doing. I've always had very hands-on captains, and I respond really well to her style of management. And I think her and I got along really well. I recently saw her in Florida. It was great to see her. So I would definitely love to work with her again.
Wow. Some people talk about the viewers. I will say some people are divided about her style of management. Like some say she's too hands-on or something, but from actually being on her crew, like what is it that you appreciate about it? Or like, do you ever find that style overbearing? Personally, I think I would respond well to a captain like her. Like I see the show and I go, oh, I think she's great. But some people are just have this knee-jerk reaction, like, no, so I'm just curious what your thoughts are about that and stuff.
I mean, coming from yachting in general, it is a captain's job to be involved in absolutely everything that happens on board. So what people don't understand is the captains are responsible for everything and anything that happens on board. If you get a small cut in your finger and something happens and that escalates, if you haven't reported back to the captain and they haven't taken their necessary precautions to do everything, they can be liable for everything. So a hands-on style is, in my opinion, the best style for a captain to be. And, she gets involved with the crew. She gets to know the crew and understands the relationships kind of that we all have together. And she almost becomes like a friend where it's much easier to go to her if you do have an issue. Whereas a captain that kind of takes a step back, it almost puts them on like a pedestal above everybody else. It's like, I don't interact with you very much. We don't know each other. It's very much like the CEO and the office worker.
Yeah. And I can understand that. I can totally understand that.
Another kind of like monumental moment for Below Deck that you were there for was for Fraser's initial time, at least on the show, as Chief Stew. And so that's something that we got to watch, from episode 1 through. And I will say, at least from our point of view, we definitely saw the growth and the struggles of, stepping into leadership and those kind of natural challenges you're going to face, regardless. And then also being on a television show. How did you feel working with Fraser and kind of being there for a lot of that, transition for him into that role?
Yeah, to be honest, I thought Fraser was a great Chief Stew. What you don't see, obviously, on the show, because they have very limited amount of time to kind of show what happens over like 3 days and maybe 1 or 2 episodes. Every time he saw one of us do something that he appreciated, he would call it out over the radio and say, well done on doing this so well. Thank you. You're doing a really good job. He affirmed everything that we did so much and so well. It gave us so much confidence in the job that we were doing. And then I think we could be better to help him. Mm-hmm. So I think when I got there, that was from day one. So I think he was already a strong Chief Stew. I think maybe he just needed to get more comfortable with the role, which he absolutely did by the time we finished filming the show.
Yeah, well, and it showed too.
Well, and I think too, he needed a team that was supporting him as well. A captain's only as good as their crew, you know. And so I think having you and Haley as his team now by the end there, like you guys also cared about your job, it seemed, and cared about delivering you know, quality service to the guests and stuff. So it just seemed very in line with the kind of guy he was and what he wanted to achieve. And so I think that actually helped. And yeah, it was fun to see. It was great to see the interior crew doing so well by the end, because that's what everybody wanted, you know. So
it felt really good as well.
Yo, I bet. I you know, Tyler, so many people don't realize this is only filmed for like 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Right? Like
such a short amount of time.
It's such a short amount of time, and we're sitting here and as viewers, we're watching like relationships like come together, relationships come apart, you know, a lot of drama that happens, but it's so quick. Does it feel that quick when it's happening?
No.
Does it feel like time is just like taking, like, what does that feel like?
By the end of it, it was like, okay, wow, that was quick. But in the moment, things really drag on, especially because you're tired.
Yeah.
Right? You're working like 16, sometimes 18-hour days to get the job done. And, you know, we could have clocked off earlier, but obviously we all want to get the job done well, not just done.
Yeah.
So that time really does drag on. And then sometimes it almost does feel like a mission to have to go out at night and like enjoy yourself and have a drink when all you really want to do is sleep. And I think we saw that with Alyssa as well. She really didn't want to go to that volleyball game. She just wanted to sleep. And I felt that. Obviously, I hadn't been there for as long as everybody else. So it's probably a lot easier for me than it was for them. But definitely, like, it's such a short amount of time and so much does happen. But I think it's obviously escalated by you live and work together from day one. So already you've gone from strangers to like family within minutes.
Yeah.
So everything does escalate really quickly and the relationships escalate very quickly.
Well, and I could see what you mean by it dragging, because, for example, like a dinner that might take 3 hours in real life on the show is like a 5-minute segment and it's edited fast, but it's like, oh no, they've been waiting on these people for 3 hours, for example, you know. So I could see how, you know, without the magic of editing, life can be kind of slow at times.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, obviously they're going to only put the fun, exciting parts in, you know, when it does lull for a bit and we're all just kind of eating and that kind of stuff, they don't need to put that in. But it really is such a shortened version of what we lived through.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's already short. You know, that 6 weeks is already short. Okay, without giving any like spoilers or anything away, would you ever go back and do that experience again? And do you think we'd ever see you on our screens again?
Without a doubt, I would go back. As difficult as the experience was, I would love to do it all again and you know, be there from kind of day one, because I think it would be a completely different experience for me to be there the whole time as opposed to coming halfway. At the moment, I can't say if I'm gonna be on at least a Bravo screen anytime soon. I'm hoping I am, but I would like to say you definitely haven't seen the last of me, but that remains to be seen.